Call this meeting of the Winnsboro City Council to order. Today is Tuesday, May 12th, 2026. It is 5:30 p.m. I'd like to welcome everybody here tonight. I ask that if you have a cell phone, please silence at this time so it does not interrupt with the meeting. And if the need arises to take a phone call, please step out in the lobby or outside so as not to interrupt the proceedings or anyone is speaking to the council. This time I'll call for a roll call, starting to my right.
Maury here. Thatcher here.
King here.
Hollowell here.
Let the record reflect that a quorum of the City Council is present and this meeting was posted in accordance with Texas Local Government Code and Open Meetings Act. At this time, I will ask Councilman Hollowell, for the last time, to deliver our invocation for us. If you would please stand.
Let us pray. Father, we thank you for this day and all your blessings to us. We thank you for this opportunity to come together as a community to discuss and deliberate the business of Winnsboro.
Four proclamations, presentations, and announcements. I do have a proclamation this month, and in honor of National Police Week. National Police Week was organized in 1962 when President John F. Kennedy signed Public Law 87-726 designating May 15th as Peace Officer Memorial Day and the surrounding week as National Police Week. It's meant to honor law enforcement officers who have made the ultimate sacrifice and serves to recognize those currently serving. In 1994, President Bill Clinton signed Public Law 103-322 directing that all U.S. flags be flown at half-staff on all government buildings on May 15th, which is Peace Officer Memorial Day. So for that, hear this proclamation. Whereas the Congress and President of the United States have designated May 15th as Peace Officers Memorial Day and the week in which it falls as National Police Week, and whereas the members of the Winnsboro Police Department play an essential role in safeguarding the rights and freedoms of the citizens of Winnsboro, and whereas it is important that all citizens know and understand the problems, duties, and responsibilities of their police department, and that members of our police department recognize their duty to serve the people by safeguarding life and property, and whereas the year 2026 marks a time to honor the more than 24,000 law enforcement officers in the United States who have made the ultimate sacrifice since 1786. Now, therefore, I, Richard Parrish, Mayor of Winnsboro, Texas, by the authority granted to me by the laws of the state of Texas and the ordinances of this city, do hereby proclaim May 10th through May 16th, 2026 as National Police Week in Winnsboro, Texas, and May 15, 2026 as Peace Officer Memorial Day. I call upon all citizens of Winnsboro to observe these dates by acknowledging the hard work, dedication, and sacrifice of our local law enforcement officers, and by remembering those who have lost their lives in the line of duty. In witness whereof, I hereunto set my hand and cause the seal of this city to be affixed this 12th day of May, 2026. So, Chief, pass along to your officers. Thank you for what they do. Another couple of things I have to do. You notice this says mayoral awards. As you know, Councilman Hollowell has served for many years on our council. You've been my mayor pro tem. You've been a guidance. You've been a calm voice. You've been a logic. You've been the voice of logic in some instances. You've been at every meeting. You have served the citizens of this city very well. And your dedication and service to the citizens has not gone unrecognized. So, in tradition, dating back to medieval times, when cities, not that you're that old, Jim, I'm going to, not that you're, okay, we're just going, in medieval times, when cities were closed off by walls and they were sealed off at night and the gates were locked on the city and you had to have a pass to go in or out of the city, to be given a key to your city was a great honor because that meant you had free roam of the city to come and go as you please. Today, our cities are not bound or closed off by walls or gates, and everybody's free to come and go through the city. But people who have given a great contribution and high dedication to their city and their community are often presented keys to the city as recognition for their dedication and service. So, Jim, for your many years of service, you don't have to stand up. I know, you don't have to stand up. But in recognition of your many years of service to this city, on EDC, the City Council, and every other Councilman Borman is not here with us tonight, but we also have a plaque for him in appreciation of his dedication of service and commitment to the citizens of Winnsboro for his time that he has also served on the council that I'll deliver to him later this week. Okay, moving on to item 5, public comments. The public may address the city council on any subject not already on the agenda. However, the Texas Open Meetings Act prohibits the city council from discussing issues in which the public has not been given 72 hours posted notice. Those wishing to address items not on the agenda may do so. However, council shall refrain from all comment and may at their discretion refer the item for research, resolution, or to a future agenda item. Speakers must sign in before the meeting is called to order and will be given 3 minutes to speak on matters of concern. Seeing that no one signed in on our public comments, we'll move on to item number 6, consent items. Council, in your package, you'll find your minutes from the last meeting, your financial reports, and your staff reports. Is there any member of the staff that wants to add anything to their reports as submitted? Okay, hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve consent item 6.1.
Okay, have a motion. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion from the council? Hearing none, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. Okay, moving on to item 7. Item 7.1, consider ordinance amendment relating to area regulations for accessory buildings in residential and apartment districts. Ms. Lyons? It's like the copier, isn't it?
Yes, I'm telling you, the common knowledge is me. Okay, this ordinance recommendation is being brought to you all today in effort to fix some of the things that we know don't make a lot of sense in some of our code of ordinances. This one specifically is pertaining to accessory structures that are unenclosed. Currently, our ordinance requires 20 feet, 15 feet from the principal structure and 5 feet from the side setback. On an unenclosed structure, that doesn't necessarily make sense. So the recommendation would be that we match fire code, which would be 5 feet from the principal structure and 0 from the side lot line. That will help an existing permit that we have pending and also clean it up for others in the future that wish to do the same thing.
Council, any questions? Okay, hearing none, do I hear a motion?
Mr. Mayor,
You got to go for it.
I motion to amend section 25.41C, non-enclosed accessory structures may be located no closer than 5 feet from the primary structure and may have 0-foot side yard setback when located alongside a lot line, provided the structure does not encroach into any utility or drainage easement.
Have a motion, do I hear a second?
I second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion from the council? Hearing none, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. Item 7.2, consider property lease with the Winnsboro Gun Club. Ms. Lyons, I think this is also you.
Okay. This lease had not been updated in decades. Would you, yeah.
Correct.
So myself, the assistant chief, the chief got with Mr. Griffith here and the Winnsboro Gun Club and reworked the lease, tightened some things up. And I think it's to a place that we all are comfortable and happy with the exception of the exhibit that is in front of you here. Mr. Griffith, did we get any sort of measurements on those?
No, ma'am, I haven't had the opportunity to go out and measure.
If you would come up and state your name and address for the record.
Certainly, my name is David Griffith. I'm here on behalf of the gun club. I'm from Gilmer, Texas, so don't hold that against me.
Oh, man.
And if I can take, Mr. Mayor, members of the council, just a moment. I want to say, first of all, how much we appreciate the work that Ms. Lyons, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Vasquez have put into this, Chief Vasquez, Chief Mayor. They've been extremely cooperative and helpful in getting this. As Ms. Lyons said, this lease has not been updated in decades. We've all operated under cooperative
shooting out there. We've got pistol shooters, rifle shooters, shotgun shooters, a lot of competition. First question that's asked is where are we gonna eat? So we all, most of us end up in one of the restaurants here in Winnsboro. We buy our gas here for our golf cart and for our buggies. We buy our repair items for the structures. We believe that there is a significant impact to the city of Winnsboro. But likewise, the city of Winnsboro has helped us immeasurably. The police department trained out there, but they also provide informal security for us. They watch the place. They're very synergistic in that, and we appreciate the opportunity to continue this relationship with the city from now on. What we're requesting, and this looks like a kid did this drawing, and I did it because I did it on Google Maps with a marker. This basically is the outline of the property that we're using. The property to the east here is actually fenced. The property to the west is fenced. The property to the south is fenced. This is a huge berm that stands as our natural backstop to prevent any projectiles from leaving the range. We think that's a best orientation because it is the safest way to shoot. This natural hill here is, although it's not fenced, or at least if it's fenced way at the boundary of your property. So that's the only real dimension that I have not gotten, and I intend to wheel it off, and I'll get you a number on that. We're also, this is what basically that we're utilizing now, which is under fence, except for this. We've got rifle and pistol range, here's shotgun range, another shotgun range here. We're also requesting the use of about a 200 by 200 strip of property that's off to the east. This is just woods back over there. It's not being utilized for anything. There is a fence, but we would like to use that to be able to expand for a 22 rifle competition. That would give us 300 yards, and it's just something that would help us and would be beneficial for our competition. That's the only utilization it's going to be. We're not going to open it up for general long-range rifle fire. So one of the things that I did want to talk to you about, as you know, this is the old dump ground, and it's reclaimed land. It's not really feasible to use it for anything, in my understanding, for several more years. But from here to the north is quite a bit of drop, and this has a significant amount of erosion issues from time to time. We spent, in the last 3 years, the club has spent $18,000 on erosion control, something the city hadn't had to do, which we don't mind doing that. We utilize the property, but there, in case there's any question about the money, we actually have spent a significant amount of money, and consider that as part of what we do for the city in exchange for this lease. But if you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer. We appreciate the opportunity to work with you all on this.
Thanks, sir.
I have some questions. Mackenzie, how much land is out there? Do we know roughly, like, what is ours?
50 acres.
And we can't use it for anything.
That's correct.
Is this all you need? Do you need more? Because we can give you more today, because we're not using any.
Hold on.
I don't want to be
Come up
greedy
here.
about it. I mean, we can always,
Yes, sir.
We do use skip park city Winnsboro. We do use some of it, but it's so far over that I don't think that they're gonna even come in. So that this is right here is a lot of windrows from the old, what used to be the old city dump is in this area. And we still dump brush in this portion here, but I don't think anything they have is gonna interfere. They could come over still a pretty good ways before they start getting the stuff we're gonna do. But we still use that whole side of it.
Council, any other questions? Chief Mayor, you have anything you want to add?
No, I think we have everything worked out. I was able to attend the gun club's annual meeting last week. I think everything, we got a good list together. We're gonna be able to train, make sure our officers are trained well, and work in conjunction with them. I think it's a
Okay. Council, there's no further questions. I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I wish to consider the property lease with the Winnsboro Gun Club as stated in the lease. Approve it.
So you're
Can
moving
we
to
start
approve.
it again?
Yeah.
I wish to approve the Winnsboro Gun Club lease as stated.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion from the council? Hearing none, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. Okay, at this point, we're going to move some things around. We're actually going to move down to item 7.4, considering resolution 2026-06, authorizing the defeasance and redemption of a portion of the city's outstanding obligations and other related matters. Ms. Austin, is this you? Or Ms. Lyons is?
Okay, so Mayor, Council, and for everybody in attendance, what we're going to explain to you can be a little bit complex, so at the risk of overstepping, I would just encourage anyone who's here that has questions, please come and ask, and now is the time. We have bond counsel here and GovCap is here. We have vetted this process thoroughly, so if you have any questions, please, please, please feel free to ask them. I'm going to do my best to explain it the best that I can understand it. So, as you all know, in 2022, our voting members voted for a $6.5 million bond for the purposes of a new animal shelter and for new roads and utility infrastructure. As you also know, it has taken a great deal of time to get through those projects, and as a result, because of engineering delays and because of easement negotiation delays, we have excess funds in those that we're not going to be able to spend in the amount of time that bond law, you could probably say a lot better than me, requires us to spend. We only have a certain amount of time to spend those funds. So instead of being penalized for not spending those funds, the option that we have is to pay that down on our existing $6.5 million and then issue the equivalent of what that payment reduction would be. So if you look at the screen, what we're recommending is that we would pay down $2.2 million, which would reduce the annual debt payment by $180,000 annually. These are all estimated numbers. We're not really going to know until, is that correct, that these are pretty close. So after that's done, what we would do is we would free up 1.233 estimated, and that debt payment is going to be roughly the same amount of what the reduction is going to be. What this allows the city to do is to free up $1.23 million instead of having to give back 2.2 and not getting anything in return. This also, what it does for the taxpayers is it reduces the interest that you all would have to pay over the life of this debt by $921,000. So that is what we would be asking you to do. It is a two-step process. We would have to pay down and then we would issue. It doesn't have to be done in that order, but those are the two steps involved in this process. And as I said, bond counsel is here, GovCap is here. They are the ones that helped us. And of course, our finance director is here, who has been working very closely with both of those entities to answer any questions.
Drew, do you or anybody have anything you want to add to this?
I'm Drew with Government Capital. I can talk about it. Yeah, I can talk about it. I'm a pastor's kid, so I have that ability. And I'm married. I brought my son with me. This is Jeremiah. We went to the Barrel House before. I literally said, "You want to go to a meeting with me? I'll feed you dinner." Okay.
Well, you got the important part done.
Yeah, you got the important part. So we went there first. The burger was great, and he said that. So, with that being said, just want to tell you from the outside looking in, you've got a great staff here. They've been a joy to work with, incredible information, just been easy to work with. But other than that, I really don't have much to add, other than this process is what it is. It's a two-step process to get this done. So,
Council, any questions? I do not have that resolution in my packet. Is there anything I'll need to sign for that? Or is that in the folder of stuff? Okay. We'll go through that later. Okay, Council, on item 7.4, I'll entertain a motion.
I move to approve resolution 2026-06, authorizing the defiance and redemption of a portion of the city's outstanding obligations and other related matters.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion from the council? Hearing none, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. Now we'll go to item 7.3, consider ordinance 1097-2026, authorizing the issuance of City of Winnsboro, Texas limited tax note series 2026 in the aggregate principal amount of $1,233,000, awarding the sale of the note, authorizing execution of the investment letter and paying agent registrar agreement, authorizing the levy of ad valorem tax in support of the note, and authorizing other matters related to the issuance of the note. Who typed that?
Thank you, bond counsel.
You did real good.
Okay.
So all I want to add to this one is that the projects that are listed in that resolution, we will be limited to the expenditure of those funds by what is listed in that resolution. So I want to be very clear about that. We did write them pretty broadly, but we can come back later and determine what those projects will be, but they do have to be within the scope of what's listed in that resolution.
Okay. Bond counsel or GovCap have anything you want to add?
I don't have anything to add, but I'm happy to answer any questions anyone may have.
I don't have a question. I just want to add one thing to that, is that Broad Street has agreed to be the carrier of the tax note for
Okay.
that.
Okay. Council, any other questions? Hearing none, I'll entertain. Yes, ma'am?
I just like to ask a question.
If you come up to the podium, state your name and address for the record.
I'm Cheryl Sutherland. I live on Myrtle Street in Winnsboro. And I have a question about the projects that are going to be accomplished. Are all of the projects that were originally proposed and approved by the voters in the bond election, my understanding is that the reason we are where we are is because some of those didn't get completed fully. Is that true?
No, everything that, the reasons that the bond was initially issued, all of those have been done and then some.
Okay, so we had excess funds. Yes.
Correct, it was over projected on the cost initially.
Okay, that's what I did.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay. Council, any other questions? Okay. Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve ordinance 1097-2026, authorizing the issuance of City of Winnsboro, Texas limited tax note, series 2026 in the aggregate principal amount of $1,233,000, awarding the sale of the note, authorizing the execution of an investment letter, and a paying agent registrar agreement, authorizing the levy of an ad valorem tax in support of the note, and authorizing other matters related to the issuance of the note.
I have a motion. Do I hear a second?
A second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion by the council? Hearing none, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. Item 7.5, action on EDC recommendation to approve an agreement with TXP for commercial real estate and advisory services. Who is on this? Thank you.
Councilman King, who also serves on the EDC, has asked to speak on this matter.
Okay,
I was lost.
we're on 7.5.
Okay, so this is working with a real estate firm and an advisory service, and so the EDC has approved to work with 30 hours, I believe, with the advisory service, and then work with a real estate agent. And so we have purchased some land, and so what this investment, advisory service and real estate agent is doing is helping us identify a business that is needed here in Winnsboro, so that we don't get another Dollar Tree.
You can never have enough of those.
And so So what he's doing is that advisory service is coming out, evaluating the land, which could be possibly 2 parcels, trying to help us identify what needs our city has in terms of whether it's a hotel, a restaurant, a department store, a grocery store, what our truest needs are. And so that is what this is the advisory service to help us find our needs and the real estate agent to help us move the property. And that property is right here on Main Street, and so it's something that we as the EDC really found had a lot of interest in purchasing, so that we could have a little more control about what businesses were coming in, so that it fits the needs of our city.
Okay, and for clarification, this is a contractual fee. TXP's professional services billed hourly basis of $300 per hour, not to exceed $9,000 without prior written authorization. Is that correct?
I believe that was 30 hours is what that dollar amount
Yeah.
comes out to.
Okay. Mackenzie, do you have anything you need to add?
No, sir.
Okay. Council, any other questions?
I move to approve action on EDC.
You're getting ahead of me.
Move to approve action on EDC recommendation to approve an agreement with TXP for commercial real estate and advisory services.
Have a motion. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion from the council? Hearing none, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. Item 7.6, consider ordinance 986-2018 A1, amending section 3.11.011 of the Code of Ordinances relating to hanging signs in the downtown district. Ms. Lyons?
Again, this is another testament to us trying to make sense of ordinances that don't really make sense for our businesses in town. So we currently have a hanging sign ordinance that limits the amount of, it says that 50% of the awning or canopy, so the sign cannot extend beyond 50%. And we have signs existing within the canopy that are 100%. So what is before you tonight is whether or not you want to extend that 50% to 100. And just as an example, this is an example of the signs. It's not really good. That's Google Earth. So that sign there extends 100% of the canopy. And so down the way here, the new chiropractor is wanting to put in a sign, and he's currently limited to 50%. So I did not see a reason that it should not be 100%, but I can't make that call without an ordinance amendment.
Council, any other questions?
Well, yeah, I don't understand. So the sign 100% lengthwise or of the
Across the
canopy?
sidewalk.
Across the sidewalks to the width of the canopy, so
The
from the
hanging.
building to the parking.
Yeah.
And then still
Where's one that's doing it? Show me.
Oh.
I don't
It's
understand.
not really good.
There's several in
This
downtown
one.
that are doing
It's-
that.
It's this one right here.
I
Yeah.
don't see a sign.
It's
Do you
hard
see
to
a
see.
sign?
It's hard to see, but it's there.
There's a sign.
Yeah.
And,
Under the canopy,
Under the
yes.
canopy. Oh,
and
See, it's
this,
okay.
the width of the sign still has to comply with ADA
Yeah.
compliance,
Yes.
for pedestrian travel.
Don't want to bump your head on, is what you're saying.
Correct.
Right.
I just want to make one quick comment. As someone who served on the Planning and Zoning Commission before Ms. Lyons came and we did away with it, our ordinances need a lot of overhauling. Some of them are just crazy, and this is, we're taking steps to rectify that, and that's what this is, just one of those steps. So, yay.
Yay.
Council, any other questions? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve, what is 7.6?
Yes, 7.6.
Ordinance 986-2018, A1, amending section 3.11.011 of the Code of Ordinances related to hanging signs in the downtown district.
Have a motion, do I hear a second? Have a motion and a second, any further discussion from the council? Hearing none, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. Item 7.7, consider approval of new account at Broad Street Bank for the purpose of taking SNAP benefit payments at the farmer's market.
Okay, so we've been working with Andy and a couple of groups. The farmers market, there's a lot of interest in people who have SNAP benefits to use their benefits at the farmers market, but we have not been able to accommodate that. And there's some things that we have to do in order to do that as well. Instead of having our general account have you know, $5 of this and $10 of this and have this all jumbled in our funds. We feel like it would be best to have a separate account. What Andy has worked out with the vendors down there is to be able to once or twice a month the system itself will track who has made what payments, or Andy has a system for that she'll provide me, so that then we'll just make ACH payments to the vendors once or twice a month instead of every week. And it'll be just a lot cleaner to be able to keep it in its own separate account. So that's what we're requesting.
Okay. Council, any questions?
Yes.
Okay, hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Move to approve a new account at Broad Street Bank for the purpose of taking SNAP benefit payments at the farmer's market.
Have a motion, do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second, any further discussion from the council?
Do I need to amend that to put who the signers are on that account?
No, because does that need to be in your motion?
We'll have to bring paperwork back for that at a different, once the account is open. So that's the reason we didn't include it on this.
Okay, so I have a motion and a second, any further discussion from the council? Hearing none, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. Item 7.8, action to appoint Mayor Pro Tem for a term of 1 year. This is annual housekeeping the council has to do. So at this point, I'll entertain nominations for Mayor Pro Tem.
I nominate C.J. Metcher for Mayor Pro Tem.
I have a nomination. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Have a nomination for C.J. Thatcher as Mayor Pro Tem for the next year with second. Any further discussion from the council? Hearing none, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. Item 7.9, canvass the election results from the May 2nd, 2026 election. Whereas the election was held in accordance with the Texas Election Code and votes tallied are as follows. Votes counted for: Antoinette Shepard, absentee 6, early voting 88, election day 42, total 136. Jenny Angelo Youngsma, absentee 8, early voting 151, election day 41, total 200. Alderman C.J. Thatcher, absentee 8, early voting 93, election day 29, combined 130. Alderman Carol Sutherland, absentee 7, early voting 71, election day 17, combined total 95. Alderman Stephen Borman, absentee 8, early voting 66, election day 16, total 99. It's found, determined, and declared by the City Council on the 2nd day of May 2026 an election was held, that notice of said election was given in accordance with applicable law, and that said election was held in accordance with applicable law. Antoinette Shepard, Jenny Angelo Youngsma, and C.J. Thatcher are duly elected to the position of aldermen for the City of Winnsboro. The above-named parties are hereby declared duly elected to said respective offices, subject to taking the oath of office as provided by the laws of the state of Texas. Council, any questions? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I move to approve the election results.
Have a motion, do I hear a second?
I second.
Have a motion and a second, any further discussion from the council? Hearing none, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. At this time, the City Council will convene into executive session pursuant to Section 551.074 of the Texas Local Government Code. Personnel matters. The City Council will convene into closed session to discuss and evaluate the city administrator at this time. We are convening into executive session at 6:05.
You all have to leave, but you can come right back.